Greetings comic lovers and welcome back to Casually Comics, the channel where we chat all things comics, from views of comics new and old, to history, to anecdotes, to really wherever our whims take us. Batwoman. Oh, there's been a lot of chatter about Batwoman at the time of this recording, specifically CW's Batwoman. Recasting things, in a van down by the river things. So of course that means that we're gonna look at her first introduction from the 1950s. Cause topicality, what's that? That's how we roll here. Batwoman as a character has had an interesting history, and it's long been tied to controversial moments. Batwoman cannot just be, which is a shame because when she manages to hit her stride, she's pretty awesome, at least in my opinion. The irony of her character's reintroduction after why she was initially introduced is one of my favorite things. So let's go back to the Silver Age. It's time for bat purses and jealous Robin. But before we get started, I'm Sasha, and if you're enjoying this content, you know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join us on this comic book journey where we do what we want, we talk about what we want when we want to talk about it. What's trending has no hold on us unless we want it to. Rebels. With causes, I guess? Batwoman, soon to be amalgamated into one word, Batwoman, is Kathy Kane, who is a different person than Kate Kane, the modern Batwoman, though they do share similarities in name and superhero title on purpose. The first Batwoman appeared in Detective Comics 233 in 1956 and was created by Edmund Hamilton and Sheldon Moldoff. Now, it must be noted that a Batwoman was probably going to appear anyway, or at the very least a Batgirl. DC was heavily into the super family idea at the time. It was something they had seen work really well for Captain Marvel over at Fawcett Comics. After all of the Fawcett kerfuffle lawsuit things, we have a video on it. However, Batwoman being the first family member to appear and instantly set up as a love interest for Bruce, well, there was a reason for that. It was a direct result of the attacks made specifically on Batman and Robin's relationship in the book Seduction of the Innocent by Frederick Wertham, published in 1954, where he made claims that Bruce and Dick were in a homosexual pedophilic relationship. The equation of the two things was not uncommon back in the day. Decades passed, because back in the day is very relative. That book, Seduction of the Innocent, was actually part of the comic book hearings that were held, which we have discussed when we talked about the rise of the Silver Age. There was a huge moral panic around comics and their influence on youth, which some may feel sounds more familiar than expected. In 1954, Wertham had things to say like this. I will never pass up a chance to read a Wertham quote. Never, ever, ever. The Batman type of story may stimulate children to homosexual fantasies, of the nature of which they may be unconscious, and only someone ignorant of the fundamentals of psychiatry and of the psychopathology of sex can fail to realize a subtle atmosphere of homoeroticism which pervades the adventures of the mature Batman and his young friend, Robin. Ugh, this book has everything and even yells at you and calls you dumb. Just like a real academic text. Trust me, one of my majors is in cultural studies. Text yelling at you all the time. Comics always have been reactive to claims that they're doing something morally ambiguous. Anything they fear may harm their status and ability to produce. They don't always react the right way, and still don't, but hindsight is 20/20. And their fear of the lavender scare, which yes, that's what gay panic was called back in the day, for there is no queerer color than lavender, was something that drove them to make a lot of decisions. Which is why it's so beautiful that when Batwoman would be reintroduced, she would be reimagined as a lesbian. Wertham probably did a full 360 in his grave. At the time, she emerged largely to combat these rumors, like, nuh-uh, Batwoman. If that's going on, explain Batwoman, check and mate. But they also did try to make her unique, sorta. They gave her her own backstory, and over time she began to develop a following of her own fans. They were really taken with her, even if some of her gadgets were, you know, a bit outdated and silly. Bat compact. Ultimately, the public would respond far more enthusiastically to Batgirl Barbara Gordon, which was partially aided by the push she received on the television show as well, because that was a joint effort. But Batwoman wasn't hated, and the manner that she was removed sat badly with some fans for years. There were numerous requests also for years to bring her back. For example, when they started publishing Batman Family, one reader wrote, "It is totally beyond me why you ignored Batwoman in your first 2 issues. I can understand your reluctance to go back to the days where everybody in Gotham had a bat identity, but you can't wipe out Batwoman that easily. I was counting on her making the scene in a new story, perhaps coming out of retirement to offer assistance to your dynamic duo." But we're not there yet. We need to meet her first and see if she elicits that kind of loyalty in you. Hurry, Batman, the Batwoman is beating us on this mission. Yeah, Robin's issue with other people trying to hone in on his turf continues in this issue. The opening page features a cool robot, which I thought was a bat robot, but it is not. Disappointment. Those are just strategically placed antennae. The narration box is also in love with Batman, by the way. There's only one Batman. That's been said many times, and has been true for no other man has ever rivaled Batman as a champion of the law, nor masked his superb acrobatic skill, his scientific keenness, his mastery of disguise, and detective skills. Do you need a minute, issue 233? Because I can go. But now, one suspenseful surprise after another, Batman finds he has a great rival in the mysterious and glamorous the Batwoman. We start with the bat signal sweeping the night sky, and so Batman and Robin leap into action. And in this era, the bat signal is hovering over where you need to go, so convenient. But they aren't the first two to arrive on the scene. Instead, that honor goes to Batwoman. It's Batwoman, huh? What could she do? A flashing feminine figure answers that quickly. Flashing? Not flashy? Okay. So Batwoman reveals that she can hold her own. She has sneezing powder in her compact. Her bracelets are actually steel handcuffs in disguise. In fact, by the time Batman and Robin get there, she's already dealt with the crooks. Wait, whoever you are, you can't crusade against crime. Cavort, maybe, but not crusade. The law of Gotham City says that nobody can wear a Batman costume. I was waiting for an except me, but it never came. Awkward. You're wrong, Batman. The law says no man can wear it. I'm a woman, and I am no man. Still gonna get arrested for vigilantism, and you're gonna have to get a really good lawyer to make that stick. I mean, you would if the Gotham PD wasn't already so corrupt. Batman decides that he's gonna find out who she is, and he's gonna tell her to knock it off. But she tells him that if he finds out who she is, she's gonna find out who he is, and she manages to escape on her bat cycle, which is more maneuverable than the Batmobile. But Batman is on the case. I thought I glimpsed Batwoman patrolling too, but I'm not sure. But I do see a known jewel thief down there at the big premiere. I mean, I guess we can go deal with the jewel thief. It's not the same as messing with potential allies, but what's he gonna do? But when Batman jumps down there, he accidentally springs right into the line of fire. But thankfully, Batwoman shows up with all of her beauty-themed gadgets. She uses her compact to reflect the spotlight from the premiere back into the criminal's face so that they can't get a good shot. There goes Batwoman. She stopped that crook all by herself. A girl saving you? It's ridiculous. Only I can save you. She can step off. Dick is more upset about this than Bruce. Extra, extra, Batwoman saves Batman again. Read all about it. Rubbing salt into the wound news, even though Batman does not care that much. And she slipped away again, Batman. She's making you look bad. Okay, Dick, calm down. Also, how? I don't care about that, but I do worry about the risks she's taking. By which he means pretty much the exact same ones that him and Dick take every day, but I mean, it's okay if they do it. Now it's time for the readers to learn who this mysterious Batwoman actually is. Well, her Batcave is in an old abandoned mine tunnel, which runs underneath her house/mansion in suburbia. My own portrait guards my cave for me. Where did she get that commissioned? And where did she hide the body of the painter? Because there's no way that they're forgetting that. But yeah, someone commissioned me to paint a giant beyond life-size portrait of her as Batwoman. Kathy Kane, heiress. No one will ever dream I'm Batwoman or how I became Batwoman, because no one dreams I was once a daredevil circus performer. How to become a member of the Bat family. Options. Option 1, join the circus. Option 2, steal his stuff. Option 3, bulldoze your way into his life and learn all his secrets. There are more options, but clearly joining the circus is number 1. She had always admired Batman and wanted to use her skills like he did to fight crime. So when she came into an apparently huge inheritance, she used it to make her dreams a reality. Also, she calls her Bat purse a shoulder utility bag. Nice try. She's throwing a party to keep up her socialite image, because who would suspect a socialite? At this point, everybody should. Bruce is also going to said party to maintain appearances so that they can set up a flimsy romance. She also proceeds to be pretty weird with Bruce. It sounds silly. How could any woman ever equal the great Batman? You have to admire this Batwoman's courage, though. It's like everybody in the story is wearing a tape recorder and trying to catch him saying something. Why are they so on him? He doesn't care that much. They're both into the fact that they seem to like the other's alter egos, and thus their romance is born. A stronger premise than some. The bat signal sends them both running, leaving the party for a night of crime fighting. A crime taking place at a futuristic nightclub called Tomorrow Club. Batwoman rushes to beat them to prove her worth. This is no place for a girl. Please let me handle it. No, I'll stay Batman. I might have to save you again. And to that I say, what is going on with the decor in this club? This is not what I was expecting from a future club. Craters, an alien planet,
Boo!
These giant statues are supposed to be fake Martian idols. Somewhere, John Jones is offended. He should write a strongly worded letter. The Crook is hiding in one of these idols, and while they search the rooms, he sends one hurtling towards Batwoman, and so Batman has to knock her out of the way and gets himself taken out in the process. But it's okay, because Batwoman has a super strong hairnet to catch him in, and Batwoman doesn't unmask Batman because she has integrity and feels that he's only down for the count because of her and that it wouldn't be fair. He's gonna still keep hunting her down though. Her having integrity? That sounds like a her problem. He's close to figuring it out because she used the phrases scratch riders and trap artists. And after they track down the gang who was responsible for the raid on this club, in an encounter where she is nothing but helpful by the way, he sets his sights on figuring out who she is. He starts cross-referencing citizens for anyone with a circus background because those are circus terms, which he is telling to Robin even though Robin should really know that. Kathy Kane, star trap artist and trick motorcycle rider. Trap artist means something different these days, and I for one cannot wait for Kathy's next album. She should just release it on SoundCloud. So he figures it out, finds the mine shaft, and him and Robin lurk there waiting for her to get back.
Listen, Kathy, if I found you out, crooks could do so too. Eventually, once they learned your real identity, you'd be in mortal danger.
I never thought of that. I guess you're right. I'll quit my career as Batwoman. Wow, this flimsy idea that I totally should have thought of and was shown to have been thinking about earlier in the issue. I should quit. I mean, I proved myself thrice over. I've been doing great and been helpful this whole issue, but you're right, I should hang it up. Her portrait actually had a mechanism within it that measured height and weight. This was of all the people who entered her lair. But instead of turning around and being like, ha, you're Bruce Wayne, she gives them to him because she can't look at them. She'd never harm him. And she also gives him the portrait to the cave. I wonder if we'll ever fight crime with her as the dynamic trio. Oh, I see, Robin. Now that the threat has passed, you can be all like, oh, I was never worried. I'd love to work with her. I see you. You're not fooling me, boy wonder. So that was Batwoman, and I didn't mind it until the ending. Kathy isn't grating or unlikable. She has a lot of go-get-em attitude. She also has no tragic backstory, which is nice. She proves herself to be efficient and useful, even if her gadgets are pretty silly and strongly gendered for no purpose except girls like girl things and they'll want to read about girls having girl things, right? Why have a regular net when you can have a super industrial strength hairnet? Why carry your powder in any kind of bomb casing when you can carry it in your compact? It's really funny, especially now because so few people have compacts anymore. It's all right, 1956, look at my lipstick bomb. Period typical gender roles aside, she's actually very independent. She lives alone, is unmarried, a socialite, doing her own thing, saves the hero without being a jerk about it. It's actually the other people who are jerks about it, like Robin and the media. Robin needed several chill pills this issue. However, the issue trips over itself, putting Kathy back in her place at the end. It's like, don't forget, it's dangerous out there, and yeah, she shouldn't be doing it for reasons. It's dangerous for her. Yeah. But it also serves a twofold purpose narratively. It gives them an out in case she was really poorly received. It's like, oh, well, we don't need to do that again. Forget that, everybody pack it up. But given why she was created, it's not a surprise that she returned. When she did return, she was a bit less useful. I mean, she was still competent, but that would just happen a bit more than it did in her first appearance. Still, she was a useful crime fighter, and the building blocks were there for something unique. Editor Julius Schwartz really didn't like her character though, her or Betty Kane. He didn't feel that her or the first Batgirl matched the direction that he wanted to take Batman in. And while Betty would just vanish, Kathy would actually end up being unceremoniously killed off after being briefly brought back. She would be killed by the League of Assassins in Detective Comics 485. On that, then editor Dennis O'Neil had this to say: "We already had Batgirl. We didn't need Batwoman." Oof, I felt that. Just conjures up images of Batgirl standing over Batwoman's corpse. Batwoman! She had potential in my opinion, but it was not fully realized for a variety of reasons. The times, the scrutiny on her / why she was brought into being, a shift in tone of the Batman books, and editorial directions, so many things. But what did you think of this version? She is very different from Kate Kane, although some of the spirit does echo and carry through. Please share all of your thoughts down below, and while you're down there, please do all the YouTube things. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so that you never miss a vid. Thanks so much for taking some time out of your day to discuss comics with me. I always appreciate it, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.